How we doing? Ryan B. Hebert here, and welcome back to your second top 4 match at Greensboro Regionals 2019, brought to you by Legendary Gaming Network and Pokevault. Pokevault, thank you for all those plushies this weekend. Really appreciate it. I'm sitting beside Chuppa across the fourth. Chuppa, how are you doing today?
Hi, just happy to take a quick break from commentating to watch you and Marcus cover the last round.
Yeah, it was a really, really great round. It was a clean 2-0 on Ashton's side, and Brian tried his best with his side guard team, but Ashton was just able to tear through with his offensive strats.
Yeah, especially the Cartana looked like a huge player in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And in this next set here, we have two players, Santino, who we have seen on stream, and Alex Williams, actually, who we've seen on stream as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who Alex won against in top 8 that we weren't able to cover.
I'm trying to remember, and honestly...
Oh, it was Kyle, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
so getting into team preview, Santino is going to have Lunala, Groudon, Stacktacket, Incineroar, Tapu Fini, and Serena. Well, Alex has Ho-Oh, Ferrothorn, Raichu, Ludicolo, Incineroar, and Kyogre.
And so this Ho-Oh Kyogre team is a little different than what Alan Martinez was running in top 8 earlier today. We don't see a Weavile, but we do see a Kanto Raichu. We also see a Ferrothorn as well, and a Ludicolo. The thing, though, that I'm questioning here is that who has the advantage? Because with Tapu Fini on Santino's side of the field, you're not going to be afraid of those Sacred Firebirds from Ho-Oh.
Tapu Fini does also have to worry about the 2 grass types and the Raichu.
That's very true.
I feel like matchup favors Santino a little bit here, like especially because we just saw him get a win against same legendary pairing, even if the partners were rather different. I think that this is another matchup where Groudon has the potential to do a ton of work.
And we see the players setting out their first sets of Pokemon here. We're going to see Kyogre Ludicolo on Alex Williams' side of the field. And on Santino's side, we will see Lunala and Groudon.
Wow, Kyogre Ludicolo, that's really starting off with the sauce.
Yeah, really trying to start out with some offensive pressure. We're going to see the rain going up first, and then we're going to see the sun from Freddie Merckx or Groudon's drought ability coming up here. So we know that Kyogre is faster. And at this point in the game, what's going to be happening here, Chuppa?
So, Ludicolo sometimes like to run Rain Dance these days. That would be cool. It would let Alex threaten this surprise knockout on Groudon, but I think Santino knows that his Groudon is threatened to begin with. I think it's very likely that we see it switch out maybe into someone like Tapu Fini, who doesn't actually worry too much about Grass Knot. It's certainly not about Water Spout in the sun. I don't think Alex can do anything to the Lunala because the sun is up. Like, even if he went for Rain Dance Water Spout, it's only going to do 40% to Lunala.
Yeah, as long as that Shadow Shield is up, Lunala's going to be taking hits from this Kyogre extremely well. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see Kyogre switching out as well.
Oh, Kyogre actually staying in if Groudon's switching after it. Groudon switching into Incineroar as a water type switch, and that's surprising. Let's see if it gets caught by something coming in.
Incineroar coming in here, Intimidate going off onto that Ludicolo and Kyogre. Kyogre just going for the Water Spout in the sun, going to do a decent 35 to 40% on that Incineroar and just a little bit on Lunala. Lunala coming, oh, wait, never mind. Ludicolo coming out with the Water Z move here, going to be firing that into what I imagine is the Incineroar slot.
Yeah. So I mentioned going for Rain Dance Water Spout, but I forgot the speed tiers change up because sun is up, so that wasn't an option. This is how Alex is deciding to try and pressure the Groudon instead. I think that's enough to get a knockout. No, Incineroar survives.
It is not. Incineroar is able to survive, but we don't see a berry go off. Instead, that Trick Room does get set up by the Lunala here, and so Incineroar is in an interesting position. Well, it may be able to go for a fake out because it's at such a low, percentage of health, it really doesn't have too many options.
Yeah, even
left.
these weakened water types in the sun could probably finish it off if they really wanted to. As that's going to be Kyogre switching out.
Yeah, Kyogre's going to be switching out here, and coming in is the Incineroar, so maybe catching a potential Moongeist Beam. We're going to see the Intimidate coming out from this Incineroar going on to Santino's Incineroar as well. I wouldn't be surprised maybe to see... Okay, so we see Protect, maybe a Flare Blitz coming out from Santino's Ludicolo.
Yeah,
Incineroar,
you have to remember that it was a Kyogre slot, though.
That's true. That's true. We see the U-turn going into that Ludicolo, and the Moongeist Beam going into Ludicolo as well. A double target into that Ludicolo.
Yeah, Ludicolo, a Pokemon that commonly doesn't run Protect, and if Ludicolo doesn't have Protect there, yeah, you get to blast it with the combination of those. Incineroar does come in here really nicely, though. Even though the Water Spout did so little to Lunala, it was still enough to break Shadow Shield, so now it has to worry about Throat Chop or Knockoff. So Lunala's like, it probably doesn't get to move this turn.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if we might even see a Lunala switch out here, maybe into a Tapu Fini or that Groudon that we saw before.
And if you're going into Groudon here, you really don't want to lose your Choice Band to a knockoff. Tapu Fini wouldn't care as much about Berry. Incineroar actually raw switching out into Groudon.
Groudon coming back onto the field, and it looks like Lunala is also going to be switching out as well, and coming onto the field is going to be that Tapu Fini. Misty Surge going to be coming up onto the field as well.
Groudon not having to worry about any possible burns from, well, Political, Elixir, and Hydro Pump as opposed to Scald. Incineroar U-turning the Groudon slot. Who's coming in?
I'm curious to see. I'd be surprised maybe if Kyogre were about to come in.
Oh, if Kyogre came in here, Ludicolo could actually really mess up the Groudon with a water move.
But instead, we're going to see that Ferrothorn coming in, Grass Knot coming out from Ludicolo, going into the Groudon slot, going to be doing big damage, down to 1 HP, surviving on barely nothing.
I really like that double up from Alex. The U-turn would have been able to knock out the Incineroar from there, so it's not like he's actually attempting to Grass Knot Incineroar. He knows that he has the knockout anyway, and that does so much damage to Groudon. I don't think Santino expected that switch to go so poorly for him.
And now you're in an interesting position where you can swap in Incineroar again, but it's at such a low percentage of HP that the Ludicolo can easily take it out with a Scald.
Yeah, Incineroar might even go down to something like Intimidated Power Whip from Ferrothorn at this point. It's at 10%. So Ferrothorn really easily threatens the Groudon, like maybe you'd want to go for a Gyro Ball so as not to risk missing, but that slot is really pressured right now.
Alex Williams is really in the driving seat in this battle so far. We're going to see the Intimidate coming out from this Incineroar. I think it's where it's really going to matter onto that Ferrothorn. And we're going to be seeing Ludicolo coming out off the field here, and coming onto the field is going to be that Incineroar. So another Intimidate coming out here, going on to Santino's Incineroar as well. So both players doing a little bit of a swap in here with both of their Incineroars. Knockoff coming out from this Ferrothorn, knocking off the Assault Vest from Santino's Incineroar. Nature's Madness coming out from the Tapu Fini, going into that Ferrothorn, probably one of the most efficient ways to bring down Ferrothorn's health.
Yeah, half of Ferrothorn's health when it doesn't have any way to recover with Leech Seed, as we've seen that this is an Assault Vest variant in Ferrothorn. That's pretty good. Like, it's going to be easier for Lunala and Tapu Fini to deal with it now. This is a really tough position for Santino. His two ground and fire type attackers are both hanging on a thread here. Alex is going to be able to pick up knockouts on Groudon and Incineroar very soon. And then I think like Kyogre and Incineroar can just clean up from there.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the Gyro Ball into that Incineroar slot, really just ignoring the Tapu Fini right now, not even having to target it whatsoever. And with his own Incineroar on the field, you have to wonder where the fake out's going right now. With
and whose Incineroar is faster? I'm not sure if we've seen that interaction. Well, at this point, we're looking for the slower one.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no fake out coming out. Gyro Ball going into Santino's Incineroar, just going to knock it out, taking the first knockout of the game. And Nature's Madness coming out from Santino's Tapu Fini, going into Alex Williams' Incineroar, so it's going to do 50%. Those U-turns are going to start adding up here with the U-turn coming out from Alex Williams' Incineroar.
I think that was the last turn of Trick Room.
Yeah, and I think that was the last turn of Trick Room, so Kyogre coming in here?
Yeah, moving Incineroar out there is so smart, because if you leave your Incineroar on the field, maybe you want to go for a knockoff or a Flare Blitz on the Tapu Fini, then Groudon comes in against your Incineroar and your Ferrothorn and gets to throw out Precipice Blades. That actually would have been really deadly, but as a result of getting Kyogre in here, Alex makes sure to maintain control of the game.
I think if I was in Santino's shoes right now, you're in a really, really tough position, because you have a Lunala that's Shadow Shield has been broken, and you have a Kyogre that is on the field inside the rain, and a Ferrothorn as well, and you're really under pressure. Great nickname on that Fini. In this particular moment.
All right, if anything, I think Lunala can probably eat one Water Spout from here. It'll be really close, but should be able to survive. Ferrothorn actually switching out. That's surprising. Maybe expecting a Menacing Moonraze Maelstrom from the Lunala, having Incineroar attempt to take that instead. It could probably survive and get its berry off it. What's Kyogre doing here? Is this Water Spout? Is Fini leaving?
We're going to see the Protect actually coming out from that Lunala, and the Incineroar coming onto the field. we're going to see Water Spout coming out. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see another Nature's Madness.
Yeah, Nature's Madness to weaken the power of the next Water Spout would be a really great play by Santino here.
And this might be something that Alex Williams really needs to take into account, that these Nature's Madnesses, they add up. And
Absolutely.
if you keep letting them hit all of your Pokemon and taking that much health away, Santino's Lunala is just going to be able to kind of sweep.
Yeah, this next Water Spout is doing way less than Alex wants it to. Like, yeah, he can fake out the Phineas slot. That's cool. But the Lunala gets to attack. It still has its Z-move active. That could absolutely knock out Kyogre from here. Even Psyshock might be able to. So this Lunala is... Between Lunala and Finny, Santino does have a shot at staying in the game.
Yeah, he does. Definitely does have a shot at staying in the game here, Cheppa. Alex in a particular position, because if that's a Choice Scarf variant of Kyogre, which I think we've seen it.
Yeah, I think so.
For the Lunala.
And the Lunala on this team is really slow. Water Spout coming out from half health. How much is it going to do? Half Lunala? About...
Maybe about 30–40%, bringing Lunala down to half, and we're going to see that that Lunalian Z-move coming out from the Lunala, going into what I hope is maybe the Incineroar slot.
Incineroar at half, though. I think Incineroar should be able to take one of these. You have to remember, though, that this is a Trick Room Lunala. They're even stronger than the standard Timid ones. So maybe it would be enough to knock out Incineroar. Going to be Kyogre instead. From half health, I don't like Kyogre's odds one bit here.
Maybe Santino's confident enough that, you know, at 1 HP on Groudon, you're able to still knock out that Incineroar confidently.
Yeah.
Since you have Tapu Fini.
But there's a Ludicolo in the back that's very likely faster than both Groudon and Finny.
That's true.
Groudon not having any way to protect itself. That's the issue with Lunala having protected last turn. Now this turn it's vulnerable to whatever Dark move Incineroar wants to go
and
for.
Snarl being revealed here, bringing Lunala down into the red. That is going to be a -1 to special attack to Tapu Fini and Lunala. And so that's going to weaken the amount of damage. But Heal Pulse coming out from this Tapu Fini, going to be supporting this Lunala by bringing back its health.
Yeah, Heal Pulse the perfect move to go for there. Tapu Fini doesn't really want to Nature's Madness to Incineroar and give it parry. Now this Lunala might actually be able to survive an attack from Ludicolo.
Not only that, Cheppo, but how do you take care of this Incineroar right now? That's my question, because, you know, you can keep Heal Pulsing, but that Incineroar is going to keep snarling. And
so
those snarls add up.
The problem for Santino is that, so he could get in his Groudon. That's the Pokemon he needs to really knock out the Incineroar. But it's speed sandwiched between Ludicolo and Ferrothorn. If you're out of Trick Room, Ludicolo is outrunning you. If you're in Trick Room, Ferrothorn is outrunning you. And because it's a Choice Band variant, it doesn't have a way of protecting, which Lunala goes for right now.
Lunala's going to be going for that Protect. U-turn, going to be going into that Lunala, but because of the Protect, it will not be switching out. Haze coming out from the Fini here to reset all stats on the field, so that Lunala is back at neutral. And we're going to see a Power Whip coming out from this Ferrothorn, going into the Fini, and it does connect, so that Fini will be going down for the count here. Another Pokemon knocked out on Santino's side of the field, so coming out should be that Groudon at 1 HP.
Oh no, that's not good news for Alex. Even if this Groudon is at 1 HP, it's faster than both of Alex's Pokemon on the field, unless that's a fast variant of Incineroar.
I think
Alex got really a little bit too greedy.
I think Alex was hoping for that U-turn there.
Yeah.
And since maybe not thinking about the possible Protect, he's now stuck in a position where that his Pokemon are not able to outspeed the Groudon.
Yeah, if Groudon can connect its Precipice Blades here, I'm not sure if Alex has much to do. Oh, his Ludicolo's in good shape, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is in good shape, but can it handle Lunala? That's my question. I don't think it can.
Yeah,
but
like Choice Band Precipice Blade says something like 70% of Ludicolo. It's crazy.
How much can Precipice Blades do to Ferrothorn?
I think that's knocking out from here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, Moonblast Beam going to target Ferrothorn, I have to imagine.
Hopefully, I would assume, because you don't want to activate that.
Yeah, Groudon really does need to hit both of these Precipice Blades. Ferrothorn taking it.
U-turn going before the Groudon, outspeeding it? Oh my goodness. I think Alex William with a sigh of relief here.
Yeah. maybe he must have known that his Incineroar was faster than this Groudon, or at least
Wow.
hoped that that was a very slow Groudon so that his Incineroar could outrun it.
And
you have to remember, Groudon has to be trained to be especially slow, and even at that point, it's not that hard for Incineroar to outrun it.
And Gyro Ball coming out doing massive damage into that Lunala. Santino being brought down just to a Lunala. Alex Williams still with 3 Pokemon here. Alex has been able to bring this back and kind of bring some surprises to Santino in this matchup. But that's the thing, though, is that a lot of information has been revealed in this set. And so, you know, thinking ahead to Game 2 after this Moongeist beam from Lunala going into that Ludicolo, if I'm Santino, I'm thinking, okay, if I can get my Trick Room up, I can probably sweep out Alex Williams here in a Game 2.
Yeah, he just has to make sure that his Groudon doesn't eat so much damage coming in like it did that last game where it got, what was it, Power Whip?
Yes.
Oh, no, it was Kyogre's Water Spout plus Ludicolo's, it was Power Whip?
Well, it was a Grass Knot from Ludicolo where the Groudon switched in
Yeah.
and took that Grass
Yeah,
Knot
way
from
more
Ludicolo.
than expected.
Way more
that was the problem.
Way more than I expected, yeah. And it was an unfortunate switch in for Santino, but, I mean, who would expect for the Incineroar to be outspeeding a Groudon? You know,
Yeah.
Once you get the information that this is a Trick Room team, you know, on Santino's side, you have to be curious at what speed do you run the Groudon? Do you run it at mid speed? Do you run it at the lowest speed possible, 85? You know, to try to underspeed Kyogre to be the fastest in Trick Room.
Yeah. But now Alex knows, I mean, Santino knows that Incineroar is actually slower than his Groudon in Trick Room. It can't prevent it from going for Precipice Blades unless it has Fake Out. Can't U-turn out, can't get a knockoff off. That's overall not awful news for Santino. He just has to make sure to get Trick Room up so that things are going his way.
And Santino is locked in here. Both players locking in their Pokemon ready for this set. I wouldn't be surprised to see Feeney play less of a role in this upcoming match. While it was helpful, Alex really didn't need to target it whatsoever.
Yeah. Stack Attacka, not really a reason to come here. There's no Xerneas for it to hit. Serena, possibly. Like, it's pretty good against the Kyogre and the Ludicolo for sure. Not bad against Ferrothorn either.
And we see the same lead coming out from Alex Williams here, Kyogre, Ludicolo, and the same lead from Santino. We're going to see that Groudon and Lunala. Drizzle being set up here, so as we know, the Kyogre is faster than the Groudon, which means that we are going to see Drought coming out, Sun going to be coming out to play. Is the Ludicolo faster than Groudon? As we know, the Incineroar outsped. So
oh yeah, you have to imagine. Ludicolo, Pokemon that generally likes to be way faster than Incineroar just so it can get the most use out of its Swift Swim ability move as quickly in rain as possible. And if it hits certain speed numbers, it can even outrun common Choice Scarf users like Tapu Lele or Enemy Kyogre. So this feels like it's going to play out exactly like it did in Game 1, at least on Santino's side. I think he wants to switch Incineroar out of the Ludicolo, comes in pretty comfortably for the water moves. But what does Alex want to do? Can he do anything to stay ahead of that if he knows it's coming in?
Yeah, we know that Incineroar on Santino's side is an Assault Vest variant, so it is not a berry, and it's not going to be knocked out by the Water Zimu from Ludicolo and a Water Spout from Kyogre and Sun. Instead, we're going to see the switch in to the Ferrothorn, but Water Spout's going to happen, and Groudon is going to stay on the field, going to go down to about 40%, 50% here, and instead, we are going to see the Z-move from Lunala coming out, probably going into that Kyogre slot.
I'm not sure. I feel like this might be the Ludicolo slot, because that's the Pokemon that actually resists Precipice Blades here. Maybe hoping to knock out the Ludicolo and then get single target Choice Band Precipice Blades on the Kyogre, which should be enough for a one-hit knockout. But because this is going into the Ferrothorn, won't be able to pick up a knockout. What's Groudon going for here? Like, I imagine it's Precipice Blades. Maybe somehow he caught a Fire Punch on the switch-in.
He potentially could. I mean,
but having left the Groudon in here in the first place, this Precipice Blades is going to be amazingly powerful.
Not only that, Chepa, but if it connects, okay, that's good. If it wasn't connecting, the Water Spout turn 2 would have been devastating. And wow, look at that damage, bringing Kyogre down to about 10%. I mean, if that's not Choice Band,
yeah, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I don't know what is. Powerful damage coming out from this Groudon here, but that Z-move from Lunala being burned up, wouldn't be surprised to see a possible Incineroar or even, yeah, Incineroar coming out onto the field, getting that Intimidate drop onto that Groudon, but That Groudon does not care with that choice band.
Yeah, so speaking of choice items, that Kyogre is locked into Water Spout here. I can't go for an Origin Pulse or something to counteract how low its HP is right now. Probably just wants to get off the field. Incineroar, if anything, is faster than the Groudon. It can probably knock it out with a Flare Blitz from here. Groudon has to be very careful of that. It's not like Lunala can do anything to stop that. This position is just so good for Santino right now.
Yeah, we see the Kyogre switching out. Coming back in is that Ludicolo that we all know and love. And Groudon's actually going to be coming off the field, and coming onto the field, we are going to see Incineroar from Santino going to be doing an Intimidate onto Incineroar on Alex Williams' side and onto Ludicolo as well. Snarl will be coming out here, weakening that special attack on Lunala, going to do a decent bit of damage, usually around a 3-hit KO to most Lunala from even like non-invested.
Yeah, Incineroar's special attack stat, not the highest, also not the lowest.
And we see the Trick Room coming out here, and this could spell bad news for Alex Williams. Speed Control getting set up here. All it takes is a U-turn from Santino's Incineroar, and Groudon comes back in and sweeps.
Yeah, you know what? Ferrothorn went down. That Groudon is now the fastest Pokemon in Trick Room. Besides only maybe Santino's own Incineroar, which is not a problem for him. I think the writing is on the wall for Alex. I'm not sure how he can outposition the Groudon at this point, especially when, so he has 2 full health Pokemon on the field, but there's a 10% Kyogre in the back. It's not saving him against Groudon.
And at this point, we're going to see Tapu Fini coming out onto the field, setting up that Misty Surge as we all know and love, and it's definitely going to come in handy next turn. We're going to see the Protect coming out from Ludicolo, not wanting to take any damage or a possible Flare Blitz. We'll see the U-turn coming out, going into Tapu Fini on Alex's side of the field, meaning that Kyogre at like 10% is going to be coming out.
Kyogre might even go down to U-turn at this point.
Yeah, you have
and
to wonder.
It's not like Ludicolo exactly appreciates the speed boost from Rain. It doesn't mind it either.
You have to wonder where the U-turn is going. Did Alex call the Protect on Ludicolo to predict the U-turn? Oh, no, but the Flare Blitz going into that Ludicolo.
Yeah, hoping
instead.
that Sun would stay up, and I wonder if that Flare Blitz is enough to pick up the one-hit knockout. Ludicolo, not the bulkiest Pokemon, so I wouldn't even be shocked.
Most of the time, it does take that knockout with the Flare Blitz and Sun. So now that the rain is up here, we could see a potential switch-in again from Alex Williams and Incineroar.
Yeah, and Santino's incredibly pressured to find a way to knock out the Kyogre. Since Tapu Fini can't do it, you're probably relying on your Incineroar to hit it with a U-turn, maybe a knockoff, as Incineroar switches out for the Kyogre.
And as we saw before, if we see Nature's Madness come out here, I wouldn't be surprised. Intimidate coming out from Alex Williams' Incineroar, going to be going on to Santino's Incineroar, dropping it to -1. Nature's Madness coming out, going to be going into the Ludicolo slot, and this is what Santino's Fini does best. It just starts throwing out Nature's Madness, but Throat Chop going to be coming out from Santino's Incineroar, meaning that no more Snarls could be used. Grass Knot coming out from Ludicolo, going into that Incineroar slot, but not doing anything. Maybe trying to call a potential Groudon switch.
Yeah, that would have been really good if he'd managed to get the switch, and I totally understand that happening. Like, how do you expect a Ludicolo in this bad of a position to throw a Grass Knot out at your Incineroar? But that's something that a player will do when they're far enough behind. At some point, you just have to start going for the crazy reads.
And with that Ludicolo at half, I'd be curious to see what another Nature's Madness and a Flare Blitz would do. But we're going to see Fake Out coming out from Incineroar here, going into Santino's Incineroar. Gravity coming out onto the field, meaning that when that Groudon comes back, Precipice Blades will not be missing. The thing that we have to remember, Choppa, is that we are burning turns of Trick Room right now. And here it comes, the Water Z move from that Ludicolo in the rain. Going to probably be going into what is the Incineroar slot.
I don't think you'd ask your Ludicolo to do the dance for you just to throw a Hydro Vortex at a Tapu Fini.
Tapu Fini would love that, but no, sadly it's going to be going into Santino's Incineroar, going to be doing some massive damage here in this Hydro Vortex, and it will take the knockout.
Even Incineroar's Assault Vest not saving it there.
No.
But the issue is, and this is why the gravity there was so good, Groudon just comes in. Groudon just picks up 2 knockouts with Gravity, Choice Band, Precipice Blades. It can even get Heal Pulse back up by the Tapu Fini. It'll be in your full again.
Yeah, and so this is where we've seen the Protect from Ludicolo. That's the thing.
Oh, that's a great point.
We might have, I think, 1 turn of Trick Room left.
Yeah.
So Santino's really under some pressure here.
Yeah, so absolutely the Incineroar slot is going to go down. Incineroar can't protect. The Kyogre would go down to Precipice Blades. Yeah, Ludicolo protecting just like you said. Here comes the heal
Yep,
pulse.
coming out from this Fini, going into that Groudon. So Groudon is going to go back to almost full health after having done so much damage to it before. Precipice Blades is going to be connecting with that Incineroar, not only due to the fact that gravity is up, but the fact that the move is, you know, somewhat accurate some of the time, you know, when it wants to be. Incineroar on Alex's side of the field going to be going down, and Twisted Dimensions returning to normal. But here is the trouble, Chuppa. That is a Tapu Fini on the field, and this is a Kyogre at very low health. And while Tapu Fini, it hasn't been revealed to have an attacking move besides Nature's Madness, I'm not sure if Alex can pull out the W here in this game too.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it right now. How much health? Oh, the Lunala in the back is only at half. Yeah. Alex really timed that the end of trigger perfectly. He has his rain. He has his rain abusers. Tapu Fini probably can't do that much. Like, does Groudon want to cycle into Lunala and just get the sun back up in the future? I'm not actually sure what Santino can do here.
Or even protect and go for another Nature's Madness on
It can't protect. It's Choice Band Groudon.
Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, my goodness. Santino definitely in a tough spot here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he does here. Like, what can Tapu Fini do?
Yeah. Groudon's going to go back, and Lunala's going to come back out onto the field at just above half health. Hydro Pump going to be coming out from this Ludicolo, and with that gravity going to be connecting, bringing Lunala down to about 15 health here. Thunder going to be coming out and connecting with that Tapu Fini, doing big damage. Heal Pulse coming up from Tapu Fini. Santino needing that extra health there on Lunala, going back to where it basically started.
Thunder putting like Tapu Fini right outside of berry range, so it would go down to the next Thunder. This is awkward for Alex. I was so sure that that was just going to be an Origin Pulse, but now I'm not actually sure how he deals with the Groudon in the back because he's locked into Thunder, and I think Groudon can take a Grass Knot at the health it's at.
It can potentially take a Grass Knot at the health it's at, and being locked into Thunder, I mean, you bring Groudon out and its accuracy just goes down, even though gravity still is up. In the sun, what would it be, Chuppa?
50 times, I think it's a 2/3 boost, so it'd be hitting about 5/6 of the time, I think.
Okay. Grass Knot coming out, going into Lunala that just protects itself. And yeah, the double up going into Lunala. We see that Nature's Madness once again, just trying to get some extra damage off onto these Pokemon here. Anything really helps at this point.
So the double up looks like it was a good play for Santino, but I think Alex is actually okay with that. He's kind of stalling out Gravity and saying, like, hey, maybe your Groudon will miss Precipice Blades if I'm able to stall this out as well as I can.
Yeah.
Groudon actually coming in here. I did not think Santino was going to risk this.
No, yeah, so Santino is going to be risking this. The Groudon's going to be coming in. Sun is going to be coming out. Where are the Grass Knot and Thunder going? That is the question. Grass Knot coming out, going into that Lunala slot. Will we see the Thunder also going into that Lunala slot? Will it hit? And it will connect. Thunder coming out from the Kyogre. Will it be enough? And it will.
Wow, taking it down to 2-2. Gravity back to normal.
Yeah. So this is going to be really big. Can the Grass Knot KO this Groudon from where it's at right now?
I think Groudon barely survives it. The other thing that I got wrong is Gravity doesn't actually matter. Groudon can safely go for a Fire Punch on the Ludicolo. It doesn't care about Kyogre. Like, Thunder can't hit it, and Kyogre is locked into Thunder. You don't need to risk a Precipice Blades missing Ludicolo, because that would spell the end of the game for you.
Yeah. At this point, it's all down to whether or not Grass Knot can take the KO here. Santino is hoping that Grass Knot is just not powerful enough from Ludicolo to take the KO.
And absolutely, with a critical hit, it would be enough to knock out.
Thunder connecting in the sun with Tapu Fini, going to be taking that KO. Can Grass Knot pull through with a critical hit as well, Chuppa?
Tapu Fini not a key player. I think both players not caring about that. Grass Knot, is it going to get the knockout?
And it is enough! Alex Williams seals the deal here against Santino. Clean 2-0 sweep. Alex Williams will be going on to finals. He is ecstatic. Both players shaking hands. You just have to credit
Alex
how well
came back against all odds there. That was crazy.
All odds. Alex, I'm so sorry I doubted you, truly, because Santino played this extremely well. He played as hard as he could, and honestly, I think he had the matchup.
Yeah.
But Alex Williams pulling through with a team that honestly I wouldn't consider to be meta, but you know what? At the end of Moon Series,
Maybe it will be. Yeah.
maybe it will be. Overall here, both players playing extremely well. Congratulations to Alex. We'll be back in just a minute with Alex Williams for a player interview. Stay tuned.